How we going, guys? Mick here from Not Cartel, back another kick-ass beer review. Today I'm going to review one of my most recent experiments, I guess. So I'm trying to replicate the Blue Tongue Brewery ginger beer from way back when. Pretty much around about the time that a few of us were starting to get into home brewing. Might have been a little bit before that too, or pretty close around that time. I remember I was working in a particular business at the time, and the fellow working there somehow had contacts or relations or something working at the Blue Tongue Brewery when it was at Cameron Park, close to my place. And I remember him bringing in a few bottles of their vintage ale as well. But at the time we were right into that ginger beer. It didn't have a lot of flavour. It's basically just a beer with a bit of ginger sort of back into it. No real big spice or anything like that coming off. You get a sort of a slight numbing or a bit of tingling on the lips, and that was about it. So that's what I remember from that particular beer. Was never a genuine type ginger beer. There's a couple on the market at the moment. They're a little bit hard to get hold of, and they're quite similar to a Rattler. We were into the Rattlers back then as well, Barefoot Rattler and so forth, and they had a bit more of a sweeter touch to those Rattlers. But yeah, there is still a few sort of types of beers like that banging around at the moment where they're more emphasised on the actual beer base than they are a true ginger beer. So I tried quite, not too hard, but tried the best I could to replicate that particular. So I think I'm close to it. I could probably do a little bit more sweetness in the keg off this one. Used not my sort of traditional types of ingredients in this one. Just once again experimentation, trying to get. Surprised I nailed it as close as I possibly from memory, the taste of that particular beer to what I've got in the keg now. So we'll get one poured up, and then we'll do a bit of a taster on it. Now I've got a lot of carbonation in the keg. It's obviously over gas, but the carbonation hasn't really travelled through the solution or through the beer yet. So I think the aroma is on point. The colour is really good on this too. It's from memory quite close to that commercial style offering that was available back then, and I haven't really had much of a taster of it. I've had a couple of little ones here and there. I'm still deciding whether I need a back sweep or not. So, so there's the appearance. Yeah, could probably do with maybe pulling the keg out and giving it a bit of a rock and try and get some of that CO2 through the solution a little bit better. Other than that, it's there as the ginger's kicks. It's not. It doesn't. It's sort of more of a dry ginger rather than the sweetness that you get from traditional ginger beers. But that's how I remember it. The Blue Tongue ginger beer from many years ago. So yeah, nice. It's just a slight touch of that ginger on the nose, which sort of overmasks that base grain recipe, which was we went searching online, done a little bit of research, and we come up with maybe just a basic Colton Draft all grain recipe. So it's 4.5 kilos of two row ale malt and about 200 grams of sugar. Traditionally, that type of beer would have Pride of Ringwood, or I think sometimes they're using Super Pride these days. Just depends what they can get. And minus the hops, we've got the online, the homebrew forums, the recipe that was mentioned the most was just that 4.5 kilos of two-row ale malt and 200 grams of sugar, and obviously the hops. So that was basically what we come up with. Probably 3 different forums, quite a bit of research, like I said, and most came back with that recipe. So and then we just added our own sort of touch to it. So we uncrystallized ginger, a ginger cordial got added as well, and I feel, yeah, I think I need to get that sweetness just up a little bit in the keg, and I'll bottle a few into PET bottles and see how we go. In for a taste. The ginger's there, the beer sort of is there a little bit. Probably do have maybe a touch of something else in it just to try and bring it up. Touch of crystal might even help with that. Might also help with the sweetness as well. But from my memory of what it was like back then, this I feel is quite close. Tweak it a little bit, and I think we'll be pretty close. As it stands, I'm happy with the way it's turned out. So once again, it is a dry sort of finish to it. That's what I remember from the Blue Tongue one as well. So that's another element of this particular attempt that I feel is pretty close to what I tasted back in my younger days. Also have a similar one going, but we've used the same base grain recipe, and we've added the ginger and then a different sort of cordial. Now the cordial I'm using is imported from the UK. It's about $6 per 500 ml, and the other one we used was elderflower. It has rose water in it. I also purchased rose petals, so snap frozen rose petals from a local Middle Eastern grocer. That sort of stuff's made to use is basically to be used in the making of Turkish Delight. So that's another video coming up. But other than that, a slight tweak I think will be pretty close. Cheers.